Hello, welcome to this practice of yoga for anxiety. We'll begin with a mindfulness technique of bringing the hands, pinkies near the hip points, and we'll breathe into the belly. 3 breaths. Inhale, feel your belly expand beneath your fingers, 360 degrees around your body. Rooted down through the 2 sitting bones beneath you, extending your crown tall above you. Moving the hands onto the ribs at the sides. 3 breaths. Inhale, feel your ribs expand as you just check in. Notice how you're feeling and what it's like to feel the intercostal muscles around your ribs to expand on the inhale and contract on the exhale. Finally, we'll bring the fingers to the collarbones, and as you inhale, breathing into the chest, all the way up to the collarbones. Feel the space between the shoulder blades expand as you inhale. And exhale, feel the 360 degrees around the body contract as you exhale. Finally, we'll wrap the thumbs and take Garuda Mudra and just a gentle tapping for 3 more breaths here, bringing a full body breath. Like a 3-part breath through the whole body. So inhale, imagine drawing the energy up through your sitting bones, expanding the belly, the ribs, the chest, lengthening through each of the vertebrae, reaching the crown skyward, tapping the fingers to bring yourself present into the body. And on exhale, from the crown of the head back down like a French press. Imagine releasing down and out all that you don't need. 2 more breaths like this. And then we'll begin shifting onto your mat in this short practice. And if you'd like, we can cross our ankles and we'll simply come up to stand. So I'm just going to incorporate some of my Yoga for Anxiety workshop in this short sequence today. So in your mountain pose, lift your toes and let your load-bearing joints align, reaching your crown skyward. So we're going to match the physiological response of anxiety by focusing on an energizing breath. So I'm inspired by Vini Yoga, and we'll add that on, and throughout the practice we'll do balanced breath after that, and closing with a down-regulating breath. So see how you feel, and I invite you to be present. So as you inhale, lifting the heels and the arms in mountain pose, extending skyward. Inhale for the count of 5, 3, 4, 5, and exhale for 3, letting the heels come down, and we'll reach the arms out behind the back. Bend the knees if you're tight, and let your head hang. 2, 3. Inhale for 5, we'll rise up, shifting the heels off the ground, fixing your gaze. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, forward fold, extending the arms, option to interlace the fingers, taking the hands off the back, head hanging heavy. And then 1 more time. Inhale as you rise up, lift the heels, engage your bandhas, fix your drishti, eye level, that's your gaze point. 3, 4, 5, and exhale, Yoga Mudra, opposite index finger on top if you'd like, and we'll exhale here for the count of 3, 2, 3. And then release your hands down. We'll take this left foot back, and let's find Warrior 1. So inhale as you rise up, Let your fingers touch the top of the breath for 5, and exhale, hands behind the knees, opposite elbows for the count of 2, 3. Inhale, press your feet rooted down, channeling your warrior energy, belly into your spine, steering your hips and shoulders forward for 5. Exhale for 3, 2, 3. Inhale. Feel the air on your skin as your breath propels you, moving through space. And then exhale for 3, 2, 3. Planting the hands down, look a little forward, and let's move this right foot back to meet the left and pedal the heels in downward facing dog pose, letting your head hang, engaging your shoulder blades on your back, and then set your heels down and lift your sitting bones skyward. And then when you're ready, we'll look forward and we'll bring the left foot forward, the right foot in, heel to heel, heel to arch alignment. We'll get a nice base here. Come up to the front of the mat more. And then inhale, front spine opens from where you're rooted down through the back right outer edge of the foot and the first 2 toes for 5. Exhale for 3, 2, 3. Inhale, front spine opens, belly button in, taking the arch out a little back, and exhale, 2, 3. Inhale, this energizing breath, extending the inhalation, and then as you exhale, maybe it's an ujjayi breathing. And then the last time as you rise, root to rise, and exhale, like a big sigh of relief, rounding space between the vertebrae. Plant your hands, and then from here we'll step this left foot back, downward dog, and from here, now we're going to move the energy up the spine. So bend your knees, I call this squat dog, and I'm going to move sideways so you can see it a little better. So as you bend your knees, look forward, and exhale, high plank. So option to do that, back and forth. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3. Rounding between the shoulders. So let's go through the flow if you'd like. And if that's not working for you, simply hands and knees. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cow. Rooting your knuckles down, going with the flow of your breath. Inhale for 5, exhale for 3. And then last one, inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale, 2, 3. And then we'll lower ourselves down to our belly and bring our elbows forward in Sphinx pose. Nice. So square off your shoulder blades, draw your belly into your spine, pressing your thighs and your toenails down. And then we'll do another little flow here. So sliding your hands back, we'll let the forehead come down and we'll raise our legs. This is Shavasana, locust pose. And then as you inhale, rise up, cobra, belly into spine, any version of cobra that you like. Exhale, forehead down, raise the legs. Maybe press the toes together. Inhale as you rise. This one's from yoga therapy. Exhale as you lower. And in therapeutic yoga, especially structural yoga therapy, the key number is 6 times. So inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 1, 2, 3. And last time, inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you want, you can bend your knees. I'll turn sideways to show. Here, hanging cobra, belly into spine. Exhale, child's pose. Option to do that 2 more times. Inhale, hanging cobra, belly strong. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale. Chin a little bit into the throat, length at the back of the neck. Bandhas engaged. Exhale, child's pose. And then moving to your knees. Now we're going to move to, I'm going to come forward. We're going to move through another therapeutic yoga sequence, and it's a forward and back bend series. So we have our camel pose, hugging your thighs, tops of the toenails on the ground, or toes turned under to reduce the distance of the back bend. So we can bring the hands to the hips or bend your elbows like a goalpost. And as you draw your elbows forward, you'll be fanning out the scapula on your back. So hug your thighs, strong legs and core, and as you exhale, internally rotate the arms, elbows rest on the ground, forehead rests. So now even breath, inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's internal rotation in the thighs. And as you exhale, forehead rests down, or you can put a block here or a little support. Already, third one, inhale, or count of 5, and exhale is count of 5. So now we're going with even breath. Inhale as you rise up, and exhale as you fold forward. Be aware of the sensation, and when you feel your mind wandering off, see if you can come back to being in the body. Last time, inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Feel your front spine open in this back bend. And if you want to add on, after you've done the preps, you could bring the hands to the heels or toes to the ground. And then we'll lift the heart skyward, legs strong. If your neck is tight, keep the chin a little bit more in. Ustrasana, camel pose. And finally, inhale, we'll rise up using the strength of the legs, and then neutralize your spine. Then to child's pose or rabbit, holding the heels with all the strength you can muster, crown to the ground, forehead near the knees, and the head is super light on the ground. 3, 4, 5. When you're ready, we'll plant the hands, and now let your legs come forward. Here we go. We'll draw the left heel into the groin, and we'll take this left arm out behind us. So from the side, we bring the left arm behind us. So your left knee is bent, right leg is straight, flexing through the heel. This is head to knee pose. Changing my position. Inhale, circle your right arm, gaze follows the thumb, reach forward as a little prep pose. 1, inhale, 3, 4, 5, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more, inhale, opening out, gaze past your left shoulder, and as you come forward, we'll reach forward, shoulders between the knees, or if you're starting to feel pretty comfortable, hands on either side of the right leg. We'll let the head tip forward, and we want the pelvis to tip forward. So if you feel tight in your rounding, sit up on a pillow or whatever you have. And if you still have more room, left hand can come to the outer edge of the right foot, right hand near the hip, and let your head just relax, crown forward, chin a little bit away from your throat. Notice your right thigh. If you can, engage your right thigh in the top, the front of the thigh, to release the back. And we'll pause here. Now we're going to switch the breath. It's going to be inhale for 3. Now exhale for 5. Forward folds are calming. So we're going to let ourselves do this down-regulating breath. We have the right leg leading, and we're letting the breath guide us into the body. So imagine following the breath as you inhale, down the throat, into the lungs, and then into the body, exploring your internal landscape. And then when you're ready, we'll shift to center, bringing the soles of the feet together. You can draw the inner thighs under and the fleshy part of the sit-bones out, letting your pelvis tip forward. And between the two sides, we'll tip forward in your version of Baddha Konasana, the cobbler pose. If you open the frontal edge of your feet, it can give you a little bit more opening. Smile if you can. Remembering the end path of yoga is to lighten up. So being present is our focus here. And when you're ready, we'll rise back up. And let's extend the left leg. And notice here if this side feels any different so far. Little space, right foot, left thigh, flexing the left foot. And now we're going to turn the humerus bone in the shoulder socket. So look over your right shoulder. Thumb up, gaze follows the thumb, exhale as you shift forward. 3, 4, 5. Inhale for 3. 1, 2, 3. Twisting to your right. Exhale as you shift forward. 3, 4, 5. Inhale. 1, 2, 3. And exhale for 5. Shoulders can come between the knees or eventually hands either side of your left leg. Can you flex this foot on this side? Is it different? What if you lift the left thigh? And then when you're ready, let yourself come forward and we'll come back to our ratio of calming breath. The focus on the exhale. So inhale for 3 and exhale for 5. Hinging at your hips and lengthening forward, letting the back body stretch, a bit more introspective in the forward fold and calming. And we don't need to cue any emotion, so notice however it is you're feeling and just see if you can be present with that. So we're just going to recognize where we're at right now and if we can adjust a little bit to get more comfortable. And then when you're ready, we're going to rise up. We'll bring both legs into Dandasana, the staff pose, gently bouncing our knees. And here, feel your hips and shoulders align. So we're going to add a little back bend, planting our hands. We'll work on the shoulders by walking the hands back first. So first is just a little prep. Now we're going to point our toes. The hands are back from the hips, about 2 feet. This is called mongoose pose, and it's a huge stretch across the shoulders. Now we're going to do something we don't see in yoga often. We're going to round, tuck the tailbone, hollow your abdominals. Can you feel the stretch across your chest? Root your knuckles down, especially the index finger, and the wedding to the thumbs. And then roll your shoulders, walk your hands in. This is now a lift and a back bend called Pravatanasana. So if you feel comfortable, lift. Now, if you need to, you could bend your knees and lift to tabletop. There's even a half version. So which one would you like? I like to keep the neck long, the knuckles rooted, and the tailbone reaching skyward. In this back bend, do your best. If you get agitated, back out. And when you're ready, exhale. We're going to lower down, and then we'll plant the feet down, hug the knees, opposite elbows, and round. When you're ready, we're just going to lift to boat pose, Parapurnavasana, and from here, we'll let the arms extend. You can also put them to the ground or straighten your legs. I won't raise my legs as high so I can see you face to face. And then to get to the ground, we're just going to engage all of our muscles as we're in low boat. So we'll steeple the fingers and we'll lower down, hovering here. And when you feel you've had enough, I'm going to turn sideways. We're going to let ourselves rest on our back and hug our knees, or take happy infant pose. Whichever version in between is holding behind the knees, affectionately known as birthing pose. I wonder why. And we just want to let the tailbone sink into the ground and the muscles around the spine relax. If you want to rock a little side to side, that might feel nice. I don't know if you heard it, my dog just sighed. So let yourself sigh out any tension left in the body. And then we're going to let ourselves come down to either bound angle pose. Sometimes blocks into the knees can be nice. Another version for the low back is the opposite. Feet together, knees wide. So we'll roll the shoulders under. Feel some length at the low back. Pause, and we'll do 3 breaths with our hands on our below the ribs, pinkies near the hip points. 3 breaths here at the belly. either bound angle pose or its counter pose. The next 3 breaths, the fingers are on the ribs. Inhale, feel your ribs expand. Exhale, feel them contract, and 1 more breath. And finally, we can bring the hands under the collarbones. You could do the Garuda Mudra if you'd like, or just on the collarbones. You could tap your fingers if you feel like your mind is wandering off. And then after the 3rd breath, we're going to come into Savasana. So lying flat on your back is fine. You can put supports under your knees if you'd like. And I'm going to guide you through a technique for dealing with emotions, with emotional pain. It's also big in psychology, but it's very yogic. So let yourself go to the ground, however you would like. Let's do a muscle progression relaxation. So once you get into your position, take your awareness to your crown of your head, and mentally imagine your head is like an overfilled balloon, and mentally release the air. Softening the eyes into the sockets, the tip of the nose, your jaw. Feel your throat soften. Your collarbones broadening. The tongue resting in the lower palate. And the sensation of expansion and release through the shoulders, down the tops of the arms, through the elbows, the forearms, to the tips of your fingers. And then the softening sensation moves into the torso, all the way down into the belly, through your internal organs, into your hips and groins, through your thighs, your knees, your calves, ankles, to the tips of your toes. Let your whole body be at ease. Maybe visualize it being held by the earth beneath you and surrounded by a beautiful white, bright light, if you like. And just rest, front body into the back body into the ground. We use asana, the physical practice, to get rid of the tensions that we hold in the body, so that the body becomes a fit vehicle for a quiet, more peaceful mind. So letting go. Option to follow along in the rain technique. And it's often known as one where you can be your own best friend instead of your worst own critic. So RAIN is an acronym, R-A-I-N, and some people might say rain on your parade of negative thinking habits. So the R in RAIN is recognize right now how you're feeling. You could label that, what you're feeling. Name it to tame it. And then we move to the A in RAIN in this acronym, and that is acknowledge. We can accept and allow however it is we're feeling. Good, bad, indifferent, we just allow it to be as it is. bringing presence to your experience. Moving to the I in the RAIN, an acronym, is inquire, investigate. Like, where did this come from? Maybe something happened earlier in the day. And finally, the N in RAIN is non-identification. So as you witness your thinking or your emotions and your thoughts, you can tell that you are not that which you're able to watch. And so become witness. All of life happens in the foreground, but in the background is this witnessing awareness. The part of us that's able to recall dreams. So be the witness. This is mindfulness, self-compassion. And before we move out of this technique, you can ask yourself, what do I need right now? And then make a point to give that to yourself. Could be as simple as a glass of water or a nap, or a conversation with a friend on the phone, or a walk outside, playing with your pets or your children, whatever you need. Maybe it's a break. So we'll just identify what we need with making a point to follow through, being true to ourselves, and then we'll come back wiggling the fingers and toes and deepening the breath when you're ready. Eventually gather your knees in a moment of appreciation, rolling to your right side, planting your hands to come up to a cross-legged easy pose. You might want to circle your neck with your spine straight and your shoulders soft, jaw soft. If you have a tight neck or any issue with your neck, then just side to side versus rolling the head back, which would be contraindicated for neck issues. So do what works for you for a moment longer. And then we'll bring the fingers together, the index finger and the thumb, Gayana Mudra. And this is one more technique as we sit here for a moment more. Spine straight, belly soft. This is a simple technique where it's being in the body, so it's a somatic experience. So when you find your mind being stuck in the past, which is like depression, when it's a challenge, or the future, worrying about the future, and that's anxiety. So we'll see about being present, and simply tapping the index finger and the thumb can be done anywhere, and that brings us back into the body and into the present moment, that is. So whether it's the breath, which is pretty common if you practice yoga, or maybe the finger tapping. And then we can bring the hands together. So the light of the divine within me acknowledges and salutes that same light within you. When we're in this place, we are the same. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you for joining me in this self-compassionate mindfulness practice for anxiety. Bye.